Hello everyone. Very good evening. Am I audible? Just checking. Can some of you post in chat if my voice is audible?
Yep, perfectly audible.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm also just waiting for my fellow. I could hear an echo. Yeah, I'm waiting for my fellow instructors to join as well. Just give maybe a couple of minutes max, and then we'll get started. Okay, just 2 minutes.
Hi Mahesh, Ravi here. Hope I'm audible.
Oh, Ravi is here. Okay, great. Any other TDS instructor here? Just checking.
Decent person I will be joining. We'll just wait for a minute, Mahesh.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, meanwhile, I think since you are here, we could just get started, right? So let me introduce myself. I'm Mahesh. I'm one of the instructors for TDS. I'm currently working as a data science manager. And yeah, over to you, Ravi, if you want to just give a quick introduction about you.
So, hi all, this is Ravi Teja, so one of the instructors for TDS. Currently, I'm working as a lead data scientist. We are happy to help you out in teaching this course. And we are learning along with you. So.
Yeah, so each one of us is learning every day, and we also understand how much is an ocean this field is, right? Got it. So the agenda for this session is we will just since this is the very first session that we are having, we will just pass on some quick learnings we as a team had from our previous run of this course, because this course is still evolving. We had our run before last quarter, and that was the first time, and then based on that we took some kind of learnings and we have fine-tuned the second run, which you guys are a part of. We have refined it a little bit, so we'll just pass on some of the learnings, and we will also set the expectations very clear, and also let you guys give a very clear picture about what you can expect to learn from this course, what are you expected to have as a prerequisite, and what are the evaluation components, and how should you prepare yourself in terms of the scoring part of the course, right? So we'll try to take you guys through these different dimensions and give just an overall view about this course, right? But before even we want to get there, I just want to pause for a minute and see if anyone has got any questions. I could see a chat, Ranjit. Yes, we are talking. If I hope at least some of you are able to hear us, right? Or is it that no one is able to hear us? Just checking.
No, you people are audible. Yeah.
You're audible, sir.
Okay. Then I request you, Ranjit, maybe just check your audio settings. Maybe something is different there. Okay, so I just want to pause for a minute or two and see if any one of you has got any questions up front, and if there are any, happy to address. Otherwise, we'll just get into our usual plan of taking you guys through the course. So over to you guys. Any questions? Do feel free to raise your hand and just ask us directly. Discourse forum is not accessible. I believe there is a discourse forum, and even Anand, the instructor of this course, has been actively participating in it. Let me just check. Okay, I'll take a note of this. We'll make sure that, and I hope you guys are accessing discourse using your online degree email. Right? Okay. So even despite that, if it is not accessible, yeah, let me just check with the course team and then we'll update you guys based on that. Okay. So yeah, I would like to pause here. Any questions, do let me know. Other instructors also, if any of you guys have anything to add, please feel free to do so.
I think, Mahesh, it's more of a operational issue with respect to the discourse. I think we should bring it in our meeting with JK and Bharati regarding the same.
Got it. Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah, we will definitely work on it. Thanks, guys, for letting us know. You guys will have access to Discourse very shortly. Okay, we'll get that sorted out. Yes, I think we have a question from Anushka Krishna in chat. It's about how can we conclude about the data being composite. If possible, could you just elaborate a bit on understanding the essence of the question?
Like for example, we had the data set given an assignment, so we have different data in that. So it may happen that the data can be composite because it seems that we can retrieve some information from that, but how can we be confident about that? Okay, this is composite because there can be varied amount of data which we are even not aware of.
Okay, so you mean that how can we make sure that the data we have is sufficient to know what we want? Because there could be much more data available, but how can I be sure that what I have is sufficient? Am I understanding it correctly?
Yes, sir.
I
So
think-
let me give you a
Anushka is coming from a background where there are questions in which it is asked whether the data in a particular column is a composite or not. So there are like many options, like it is composite, or it's a date time,
Yes, yes.
or it's a ordered.
Okay.
So like this.
Got it. Okay. I think you are talking with respect to week 1, is it?
Yes, sir.
Week 1. Yeah, I would like my fellow instructors who actually created the week 1 part to chip in. Do we
In
have?
fact, there are some example of composite data like date and time, or longitude and altitude, or
Okay.
JSON or XML, or IP and currency. So whenever
Okay.
like we have two different data together, then it becomes composite.
Okay.
So that is what
No,
sort of.
I got that point, since it's very much with respect to the week 1 and the graded assignment. I'm just waiting to see if we have our fellow instructor who created that, who could give a much more better answer. Yeah, so just give me a minute or so. We will have that person there, and I can take that question. Okay. And let's go one by one. Harshjeet, hi sir, how can I get more benefits from this course? Right, so that is something, yeah, we also wanted to talk to you guys about, but since you initiated it, I'm sharing. So this course, the greatest benefit that you can expect to get from this course is being hands-on. Okay, so the other courses might teach you very good in-depth technical understanding of algorithms or techniques, let's say statistics and machine learning foundations, whatever, right? So it gives you the theoretical understanding. Here it's hardcore hands-on applied science. So you first benefit is you have no option but to do things in this course. There is nothing like you have to memorize or understand and output. This is a complete applied course. It will be totally hands-on. And the second part is you will be introduced to so many different tools, and I can confidently say that these are all state-of-the-art current standards of industry, because the entire team which prepared these materials are all working right now in industry. So it's very state-of-the-art. So you will get to know so many not yet heard tools, right? So you will get to know so many advanced tools, and you will also learn that a same problem can be solved using multiple different methods. So for example, let's say you want to do some kind of pivoting to the data set, right? So some aggregations and stuff you can do using Excel's pivot, you can do using Python pandas, you can do using other tools as well, right? So we will tell you for the same problem how we can solve it in different ways. So that is also one more additional thing you might get. So it's more like an internship opportunity in a company, right? So we will give you a lot of things. Also, let me be honest, we will also not literally spoon feed you into like a theoretical course where we tell you exactly, give you everything. We will give you the necessary resources, guide you and show you how to do, and if required help, we'll support. So exactly like how an internship in a company works, right? So that is so that will be really interesting, and that will be the major benefit or takeaway you will get from this course. Harshit, hope that answered. If not, let me know. Quick check-in. Can I please know which other TDS instructors are there right now in this session? I know Ravi is there. Do we have Dixon?
I'm here, Mahesh. Dixon, I'm here.
Yeah, Dixon, I just needed your help in one of the questions for week 1 grade assignments. So if you look at the chat, a question from Anushka, she has requested that how to conclude about data being composite, which is with respect to the week 1, syllabus. So do you have a better take at this?
I think I'm not so clear about the question. What is it? Is Swati here? Yeah.
So like if there's a column in which data is present, how can I say whether it's a nominal data, ordinal data? Similarly, how can I say whether it's a composite data? So this is the question of Anushka, right? Anushka?
Yes, yes. So, for example, I will give you, so let's say roll numbers. So we have coded roll numbers like 19 EC or 19 CS. So we can receive some information like, okay, this is from electronics, this is from computer science, and so on. So similarly, if there is some coded data, for example, for a country that, let's say we have 29 states over there. So every state has been coded as a IND1, IND2, so on. So I want to know, can this data be composite? Because we can at the end conclude about it being the states only.
Yeah, that's right. Composite is actually what do you say? It's a broader spectrum. So it initially starts with structured data. It is definitely structured because there is a column name, and the column name gives you some information about what is there in that column, right, Anushka? So the column name might be roll numbers, and you know that the column information is about all the roll numbers. So it is structured data, and you can, but we wouldn't want to call it composite, because composite comes into play when you have an array of data. Suppose each field, the first row has around 10 roll numbers, and the second row has around 10 roll numbers. If there are array of roll numbers in each and every row for a specific column, then you might actually call it to be a composite data. Was I clear, Anushka? Do you have any doubts on that?
Yes, sir, but I mean, I heard something different. I mean, so if we can retrieve some information from the rows,
yeah,
that are a group of arrays, I mean, that are arrays,
yeah,
so that is a composite data, right?
That's right. So it is also structured. That is, it is also structured. It is also composite, but more appropriate. It is just structured. If you just instead of having one roll number in one field, if you have 10 roll numbers, then it becomes composite. That's it. Composite is what does composite mean? Composite means a collection of different things, right?
Yes.
So if you, instead of just one roll number, if you had 10 roll numbers or n number of roll numbers in just the first field, it becomes composite. It is also structured. Why is it structured? Because it tells you that the first column or that row contains information about roll number. So therefore, it is structured. But since it has just one roll number, it is not appropriate to call it composite. It is more appropriate to call it structured data. That's it.
So if the means in the table, if there is 10 row,
yeah,
and for a particular means column called roll number, I have for the 10 roll number, then that particular roll number column, can I say this is a composite data?
So let me, I think, why don't I share my screen and give you an example?
Yeah, sorry, that's better.
Hi, I am Chenchireti. So can I put my understanding here about the...
Yes, please. May I know who's speaking? Who's talking?
My name is Chenchireti.
Yeah, Chenchireti. Please go ahead.
So my understanding about composite data is, let's say there is a column, right? in that column, if I put all employee names, let's say, including with the first name, middle name, last name, so we can consider it as a composite data. Am I right?
Couldn't hear you well, Chinchiri. Could you please speak up a little bit? I think audio is not so clear.
So let's assume there is a column.
Okay.
That is a name column.
Okay. The column has the name. That is a name column. Okay.
Name column, and that has every person.
Okay.
Middle name, last name together.
Okay. Okay.
Single value.
Very good. Very good.
So we are going to consider it as a composite value.
Yeah.
So we can claim a statement like when there is a data.
Yeah.
In split further into a different column.
Yeah.
That data we can consider that as.
Yeah, that's a great example. So instead of, if you just want names, a name can, if you have the first name, middle name, and last name, if these three are in three separate columns, then it is not a composite data. But instead, if the first name, middle name, and last name are in the same column, in the same field, in the same Excel field, then you would call it composite data. So there is a column name called name, and in the first row, in the first cell, you have the entire name, first name, middle name, and last name. Then it is a composite data.
So in such case, let's say like we have a column of name and another column is of mobile number.
Yeah.
So name with mobile number will also a composite data.
Very good. Yeah. Anything. So it can be name with mobile number. It has to be within an array. So name would be, it is within flower brackets, within close brackets, and name, comma, the mobile number. If that is in one cell of the Excel column, then that is a composite data.
Sir, if you can share your whiteboard and then
yeah, I'm trying to do that. Yeah,
and also maybe another different perspective.
Narayanan, can you please enable this sharing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Manish, please go on. Yeah.
Vignesh, I guess. Yeah. Who are the host? Yeah, to help us with it. I mean, like a better example I could say is IFSC codes in bank, if you remember, right? So every bank account has an IFSC code, right? And if you see, it's a code. If you look at it, it's a string. But if you see, it is not just telling one information about the location. It's a composite of so many things. The first 4 characters will be the bank name. The next 3 characters will be the respective whatever location, let's say, and like that, it's coded in a way that it gives you many things, right? So in Dixon's example, you talked about first name, comma, second name. So there could be a comma or collection of list, whatever. But the idea of composite data is you have one single data that is not giving you one perspective. It is a composite of so many things. Is it that's a structure to it, right? So Anushka was also saying int_1. So there is actually a kind of coding done in a way. The single row is telling you, single column is telling you so many things, not just like this is that person's name, this is that account number. I hope this example was clear. If not, just let us know.
So in case of composite data, there must be like comma between 2 different data sets. For example, name and mobile number. So is it a must condition between 2 data to have a comma?
It's so see from a programming language perspective. So whatever that we are talking as composite data is theoretical, right? From a programming language perspective, there is no data type called composite data type, right? So we just have string, varchar, int, whatever. So when we are just saying composite data, theoretically about data that tells you that a single data that tells you many aspects of it. So it could be comma, fine. That is one way of telling it, but that is not the only way of telling it. IFSC code, I told you, it doesn't have comma, anything, but that code is structured in a way that it has a text, it has a number, it has something else, which together looks like one single text, but one single value can tell you what is the bank, which location it is, what is the zip code and things like that, right? So it's not there is no technical data type as composite data type in programming. Whatever that we are telling is theoretically this is what it means, composite data. But in the code, it will be a string or integer or whatever we want to store only. Was it clear?
I have a question.
Yes, please go one by one. Whoever asked first.
Yeah, it's Kaushik. Can I ask my question?
Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead.
So two questions actually. Is email address an example of composite data type? And second is password. When I say password, the passwords which have say uppercase, lowercase, and all these restrictions on them, such kind of passwords, do they fall under composite data type? Like, can
but
they be
they don't. But they don't have meaning conveyed, right? So they have different types of data, like text, like you said, uppercase, symbols, numbers, and everything. But it is not conveying composite things, right? For example, if your password is caps, yums, 1, 2, 3, exclamation, something, is there a standard pattern to it? Does it telling you many things? No, I think it's just a random combination of different types of data, right?
Yeah,
So, right. So the actual, as I said, there is no composite data type, right? So theoretically only we are talking that composite data. So that means composite data gives you multiple meanings in just one data, right? So in your password example, although it has different types of combinations, the meaning is not there.
Okay, but the meaning comes from what we make of it, right? For a computer, say for example, my name doesn't mean anything, right? For a computer, or from a computers or a machine perspective,
right? But let me give an example. Let's say you are joining IIT Madras online degree, and your emails in online degree is created automatically by the system, right? And the way it is creating is it takes your roll number, it puts an @ and then it puts. So in this case, it's composite because there is a structure and meaning to it. So for everyone, the before @ part is their roll number, and then you have an @ and then you have an online degree. So this is not random. This is algorithmic.
Okay.
Right. So that is what I meant by meaning or structure.
I mean, same with the case with check number also, right? When you see the check number, yeah.
Right. Absolutely right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That is the composite. It's composite of many things, not just random, but it's also algorithmic. There is a pattern. There is a structure. There is a meaning. Was that clear to some extent? I could see Kumar raising your hand. Do you have a question?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Actually, as the professor told that about the composite, so if I thought in the one sentence, if I say that if some particular information comes in the bundle, it's composite, simple. The moment also sir told that since it is contained in the JSON and XML, so moment we say that it is containing in the JSON, that means it is always key and value pair. When the value is containing it some bundle of information, simple, it is a composite. And the composite mathematical means also that if one function containing another, means value itself is containing the more value. That's all. Is that?
Got it. Yeah, I mean, like, I think you were spot on. The only addition I would like to add is it is not random. There's definitely a structure to it.
For example, so what's the meaning of a structure being a composite? For example, for example, if I talk that some people information, some user identities, they have some name, some address, and everything. If I talk some address, the spatial, the geometrical, what is the address of any space, any places. So it will come longitude, latitude, and altitude.
Right.
If I talk about the date, then it will come something. If I talk about the email, it will come in the that header is that, subject is that. So Email.
That is the, yes, that is the structure I'm saying. For example, let's say it's always roll number at onlinedegree.iitm.ac.in. That's what is generated. So if I give you this, you can dissect that and tell what is the roll number. With that, you can say what this is a diploma guy or a
Correct.
PSC
So
degree
that
guy.
comes in
Right.
all bundle.
Right.
No?
Yeah. So you correct. That is the bundle. But for that entire column, this logic should be same. So one guy, instead for diploma, let's say there is a D, one guy shouldn't have G. So that is the structure I'm saying. There should be a defined logic.
Got it. So I can say that once it is the data is defined in the dictionary format, if I talk in the Python, then already we can convert in the CSV. The moment it's JSON converted in CSV, it becomes a structure. So it can transfer in many form.
Right.
So
it should have a foundational structure. Right. Correct.
Okay. Right. So that is the ultimate the meaning of.
Right. Absolutely.
If some data, if some information of anything, I can convert in the dictionary moment it is the composite. And dictionary means not a key value, one value means dictionary has the key and the value contains some other thing and it's come in the row format. It is the simply composite. I can say without thinking much, no?
Right. Absolutely. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, and second thing, sir, so that was the one information. Second thing I want to ask that there is a, whenever the sir was talking about the some data, so there was a lots of format. So it is necessary that I have to install some Excel particular format to see the data. For example, if someone is using Windows for that, fine, but someone is using Linux or Mac, so for them it's hard. I tried to do that. Normally it was not visible. Okay, it is okay to I convert through the Python. So I can see the data through the Python, that's okay. But the just I want to see at one place the data instead of another.
Got it. Typically, you are asking me, correct me if my understanding of the question is wrong. You are asking me, irrespective of the data and the OS, whatever, can we have one way, common way to open any type of data?
Correct. Whatever the, so whatever the data throughout the course we will use and the particular format. So is that some particular tools or that, so we don't have to waste the time on the finding some software for particular data?
Got it. So 90% of the input data that you need, they can be opened with Excel itself, except for JSON and few other things, which I believe we do not use much. But if at all you want a common thing, best is there is Visual Studio Code, VS Code, right? Or you have Atom Reader, right? So these two are kind of open source tools. Anyone can install for any OS. So you open a JSON file, you open any coding language, SQL, Python, you open any even a CSV file, you can still open using VS Code itself. Right? So that is also one thing.
I used the some editor, everything was opening except the DBF because it was giving some binary code, something.
Okay, was it again VS Code?
No, it was what is called Sublime Text.
Sublime Text. Okay, just try with VS Code. If not, drop us an email or post in Discourse once you get access. We'll just check. It should work, I believe.
Okay, so any add-on is also for that Sublime Text, sir? Because
okay, Sublime Text personally I have not been using it, so I do not know. I leave it if other instructors have anything to add. Personally, I use VS Code and Atom Reader, so I can confidently talk about that.
Atom Reader, you are talking about that Atom ID editor.
Yes, it can open any files, and VS Code also is an IDE, and it can also open any file.
Okay, sir. But one personal request was there because this both VS Code as well as Atom is opening and containing so much CPU and memory. So Sublime was so easy.
Right. If Windows, then we have this Notepad++. That is okay. Let me just check. I do not know for Sublime. Let me just check, and if there is anything, I could let you know.
Plus is also available for all, I think, OS.
Is it available for Mac as well? Then brilliant. Yeah. So we can, then Notepad++ is also a good option. It should also open.
Okay, then Node++ is fine. It is also very lightweight.
Okay, got it. Yeah. If not, just post in Discourse. We will help you out. Okay.
Discourse is available, sir. I tried, but it was not accessible.
I think there was an access issue that few other students raised during the beginning of this live session. We were not aware of it. We will get it sorted ASAP. Okay. You should be having it very soon. We will send out a broadcast email once it is sorted out.
Okay. And one last question, sir.
Yeah, sure.
So whenever that graded assignment one, the question was there was a question between hyphen, like categorical and hyphen order, numerical hyphen integer. What's actually these two terms matter in the question? So how will I manipulate? So even I checked that, but I want to be sure from your side.
Okay. Again, yeah. So I should acknowledge the fact that I'm not part of the week 1 course content, so I'm not able to exactly help you out with this. Maybe I'll just have the week 1 content creators to specifically respond to this. Okay. So I'm not able to address this concern. I'll just let the respective week 1 content experts to handle this. Okay, I'll just send out a note to everyone answering this question.
Okay, sir. Okay. Sorry, one last thing. Actually, when the question was asking like the graded assignment first question, the first question was there to find some particular data. They gave that main URLs like that. Suppose government.gov.in, for example, data.gov.in. But for the data they was asking, it was not in that particular URL. It has some particular different URL. So it is purposely giving. Otherwise, it's taking time to find the this type where, because the website has the variety of thing, and every student is not comfortable with all type like that, medical, finance, everything. So is it better to give that direct link of the website where we can get the data? For example,
got it. So okay, I understood that in that video we have given data.gov.in in which we could find all the data. You are asking, can we directly give that source link itself for the data?
Because it was question was there, find the data with the variety wise daily market price data of customer win something. Okay. So it's time to find where it will be there in the everything. I have to read the full website. So instead of there, if direct link will be there, I will go on the that particular page and we'll see that how many format of this data, and according to format we will download and we will work.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So we'll take a note of this.
Mahesh, I think I have something to add here. So
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Though you might have been given a link, Kumar, is this Kumar?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, Kumar. So though you might have been given the link, so you would also have been given some specific keywords about what the particular data is in that link, right? The reason we gave that to you is actually to get the students familiarized with the process of discovering the data. So the idea, if we directly give you the link, there is no discovery happening there and there is no learning happening there. So, and even in real-time situations, we are trying to simulate what really happens in the industry, in office when you go and work there. So you might be, you are actually not given a link in the first place, right? If you go and work in the office, you're just told that this is the data I want, that's it. That is the requirement. Your objective is then to go and search for the link, and within the link to search for the required data. So
yeah, and there is a search engine.
True, there's a search engine. Yeah, your search engine. So the objective is for you to actually go and search for the data and try to find the data. That is part of the question. It is inbuilt in the question. So so giving you the link directly will actually not be helpful. Will not help people learn the process of finding the data. That is why we didn't give you the direct link there.
Oh, now I got clear, sir. Actually, that was my question first. So this particular thing given purposely, or that's simply randomly?
Yeah, so now it was on purpose. It was on purpose. Yeah.
Okay, now clear, sir. I understood.
You were asking, was it randomized for everyone? Okay.
No, I was asking the data I need to find, or because my main purpose was to work with the data or the means it was given purposely, so I can have to go and develop the
Understood.
ability
Understood.
to
Okay.
go and
Okay.
find.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's I got it. Thank you. Sir.
Okay.
Everything
Great.
clear.
Any other? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Ranjit, you have.
yeah. I have one question. So, like
Yes, Rajan.
you people have provided data.gov, that is for India, but sometimes what happens, like we try to get the data from US also. For example, if I talk about financial market of US, right?
Right.
So, do you think like we should confine ourselves only to India, or we should go beyond it? What do you say?
Yeah, Dixon, add if necessary. My idea is it was just a reference. Right? You
it is
are
just
not
a
really
reference,
constrained. Yeah.
So if the question, no, Ranjit, I think we are not clear about the context of the question. Are you talking about it just for the assignment perspective, or in general, do you want to know what is our perspective on finding data?
No, so I'm saying like, data.gov is one of the best source, right? To collect the data, right? Similarly, like in US, like there is, such kind of source also. For example,
true.
Yeah. So I was saying like, should we confine only to India, or we can have more reference from US where like we can fetch the data for other purpose? Yeah. This is what
for other purpose. Yeah, in general. So I'll also set the context right. In general, this is not concerning any assignments that we have in TDS course. In general, you can find data from wherever you want. So I would say, US would actually, that data might be much more informative, because they have been working on moving all the data online earlier, much more early than India. We have just started doing that in our.
That's why,
country, right?
That's why I'm asking, because India, like you find a lot of data are semi-structured. They're like their data is very structured.
Yeah. So if you so first, it's better to actually start with the data that is there in US or in the other European countries that have started working on that. But if your requirement is from, if you need India data, then you definitely have to look at Indian data. So there is no other option for you there.
And there, let's say, I'm a working professional. So sometimes what happens, people are ready to pay to buy the data, correct?
Yeah, Rajan. Yeah.
So in case of that, what will happen? Let's say like I want to buy the data. I mean, will you people, give us some clue?
I just want to add a note here. Whatever that we are going to work with this course, let's stick to only open source very strictly.
Okay.
Right? So that is a foundational rule for the entire online degree program. So although it is possible for the boundaries of the course, we will use only open source data.
All right.
Yes, Prashant, you have raised your hand. We have a question.
In the assignments, so there are some options that some gentleman was also talking about, like ordinal, ordered, some nominal, ordered, something like this. So the word ordered is actually confusing me. So I just want to know the context of it. Whether ordered means like 1, 2, 3 order, or it is ordinal. So I'm just want to confirm that only. So what do we mean by ordered?
Ordered in this entire context of data is ordinality only.
Ordinality, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Good, very good, poor. That kind of examples.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Ranjit, you have a question?
Can you please explain how to view DBF files in Excel?
Yeah, I think again I need the help of the week 1 instructor. Dixon, do we or we have to call Anand?
No, I think that we might have. I don't think we can do it now.
Yeah, I think we will just take the help of Anand, because I think he was coordinating for week 1. We will just broadcast a message for everyone with the tutorial. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And just going with, since there are no more hands raised, I'm just going with the questions from chat. So yeah, Ranjit, I think you have posted in chat as well. We will send out a broadcast email to everyone about it. And please explain, Shubhankar, please explain difference between unstructured, unordered values with example. Okay. So let me give 2 broader perspectives. When we talk structured, unstructured, in the world of data science and machine learning, there are two different schools of thought. Okay, so first is the machine learning school of thought. So when we say structured, unstructured, from a machine learning perspective, it just means structured is neatly tabulated and numerical data, and unstructured data is anything that is non-numerical, like video, audio, images, text. Everything generally we call it unstructured data. So in AI, we have a lot of unstructured data. It just means we are using a lot of images, audios, videos, text, which is not numerical. That is the machine learning school of thought. But generally from statistics and data school of thought, when we talk unstructured and structured, what it generally means is like just like your relational database and non-relational database, right? So in this context, structure is tables having those key value relationships. If it's a CSV with data separated by comma, always the fourth comma data, I can assume it is from this column only, right? It's all very structured in that sense. But if let's say if there are 10 fields and the person only fills 4 of those 10 fields, while saving it, if you just save that 4 values, there is no order to it, right? You do not know which of the 6 values the customer didn't fill. But in a structured context, exactly in that order, you will put values, and in remaining places, you put blank spaces. So the structure is not messed up. So from a statistics school of thought, structured, unstructured data means this, which is having structured that column value relationships defined, and it's all neatly you can visualize it as a structured table. But from a machine learning perspective, structured, unstructured, and high level means structured is numerical tabulated data. Unstructured means anything that is non-numerical, images, videos, audios, text, things like that. Right. So if you have any doubts, feel free to follow up. I'm going with next question. Is taking this course, by Arun Mohan, is taking this course along with MLF good, or this course needs the knowledge of MLP and MLT? Machine learning is a core requisite. So it is not mandatory that you should know machine learning even before you take tools for data science. But it is expected that you learn at least both in parallel, because these are exclusive things, but you will be able to benefit more when you learn both together. You shouldn't learn one of it alone. You will not be benefiting more. So it's better you learn both rather than learning one after the other. Okay. I think Prashant, can you mute? I'm unable to mute yourself. Or the host, can you mute Prashant? Host, can you please mute Mr. Prashant? Prashant Sharma, can you mute? Can you guys please mute Prashant, Nisha Menon? Nisha Menon, can you please mute? I think next time we need host permission, whoever it is. Yeah, thank you. Fine. Next question by Kaushik Manohar. Is matrix representation an example of composite data? I think we had sufficient discussions on composite data, and by now it is very clear. It's not about being a matrix or what data type. It's about that syntactical structure in which we represent the data, where we give more information, not just one information. Right. Yeah. So then we have Kumar, students and instructor, I think. Yeah. So all of us are out there in the call. So when I have to just say instructors, there are about 6 instructors for this course, and Anand is the faculty who is the CEO of Gramenum, and then we have 6 instructors who facilitated this course in terms of creating contents, and we also manage the course. So one of it is me. My name is Mahesh. So we have Dixon, and then we have Reviteja, Dibu Philip, Prasanna, Rohit, and Satish. Right. So we are a group of instructors. You can. So we will also be present in all the forums whenever you need help. And Pralay, can you explain these topics in slides, please? Since this was not premeditated, it was an open-ended thing. We do not have any slides or something, but going forward for every live session, we have some topic. So we will have something prepared and can share with you guys as well. Garima has used an online DBF viewer. Is it okay to do that? Yeah, fine. Offline, online, anything that should be fine, I guess. I think Summit composite data is censored. Again, Garima, from what I the data that gives information about location, longitude. It's not just location coordinates. It could be anything, but it's multi-dimensional in meaning, right? So that's the idea. I think I went over all the questions. I'm pausing here to see any other open-ended queries are still left to be addressed. I'm pausing for a minute.
Are we going to discuss any like time series solutioning process in this?
Yes, Praveen. We do have a module on forecasting, and in forecasting, we do have an exercise on how to forecast using Python and Arima in particular.
Okay, and are we going to cover even multivariate on that?
Yeah, yes, but as I said, the entire course, the tools for data science, we will be positioning on how to do it in Python, but we are not really going to spend more time on explaining what is Arima, how to interpret an autocorrelation plot. We are not going to spend much time over that, but we are going to tell you guys how to do these things in Python and what libraries we can use, and we can share the code with you. We are going to focus on the applied part of it and how to interpret it, but we are not going to teach the theory behind it.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Kaushik, you have a question? Please go ahead.
Hello. My question is, like, are there any reading? Is there any reading material that we can, refer to along with the video lectures?
Got it. Yeah, that's very tricky. Just because that we are dealing so many different things, and in fact, to be very honest, there is not even a textbook that covers the syllabus that we are having in store. So, how to deal with it then? For every week content, you will definitely find optional readings we will provide. Since it's optional, many of the students in the previous batch, they didn't even bother to go through it because we won't be asking questions in evaluation. But I strongly recommend you go through those because those are foundational materials for you to learn more on that, whatever that we are teaching in that week, right? So you can use that optional content, and we will also share whatever codes, materials we are using, the Excel files, the data with you guys. And these two will act as proxy to the textbooks for you guys.
And Mahesh, just to add, for this run, for each of the topics we are covering for each module, we are providing additional learnings which the students can go through in their free time. And we strongly recommend you to go through them because that kind of helps to set your base straight. The reason being, as one of the students rightly asked, whether Arima or multivariate analysis is taught in the course, it's taught in the way of implementing those particular topics, but we'll be providing additional material where the student can learn about Arima or other metrics which he is interested to learn.
Right. Well put, Ravi. Thanks for it. Yeah. Any questions? Okay, I could see a chat from Shibastis. Are the tools we are going to learn here are all of industry practice standard, or it will just be? I can absolutely vouch that being in industry, this course is the most relevant for you if you are really ambitious towards landing up with a data science job, right? As a data science job, more than the theory, you are really mandatorily expected to be fairly proficient with at least 70 to 80% of the tools that we are teaching in this course. So definitely 100% yes to answer that. And also from the previous course, we had seen few students acknowledging that it helped them get internships in companies, things like that. Yes, Prashant, you raised your hand. Prashant Yadav, you have raised your hand. Do you have a question? And Samitsan, where do we find optional reading materials? It will be in your weekly content. Since this is just week one, you might not find any, but going forward in subsequent weeks, in your weekly content itself, we would have provided additional materials. It will be there in your course UI itself. Need not worry about it. Yeah, since there are no more questions and we are at the end of the time, I would request my fellow instructors to maybe give. I have given my perspective just to give what to expect from this course and what to not expect from this course. Second, from a scoring perspective, examination perspective, how to really prepare. Maybe if my fellow instructors, if you guys could give your perspective, I think that will be a good summary and we can conclude.
I have a question. So,
Yes.
like people were asking about the reading material. So do you think like there is any reference website where we can read them as a blog or something? Because there are many people in machine learning.
Right. I mean, like there are so many resources for so different topics. So there is no one resource that gives you all the topics. And that is what Ravi mentioned as additional material. We ourselves are giving you those links, right? So whenever a time series part comes, we will give you a very nice time series blog or article for you to read. So we'll give you that.
Yeah, why I'm asking, because if you go to Coursera, so whenever some professor from good university, like when they teach along with the course material, like they give you the reference website also to read.
Right. You will definitely get that. So it will. I couldn't give you a single website that has the entire materials of the course, but for each type of material, we will definitely give you that. Need not worry about it.
Okay.
And if I may add, Mahesh, to Rajan's question, let's say you're going to learn about a new Python library in one of the modules. So as a part of the optional reading materials, we would have provided you with the content with respect to what package we are going to use, and also a YouTube video where it has been taught in detail on how that particular library works. So we try to get it as close as possible, which the student can go through in his time. And we did it for each of the, at least most of the modules, we are going to do it going forward.
Yeah, understood. So that would be topic specific website, right?
Exactly.
Correct.
Great, cool. Any other questions, anyone? Anything you would like to know? It's too early.
Just one question. As I can see in calendar that every Friday we have scheduled 8 to 9 for that. So this is the only slot that we would have, or any other slot would be there.
This is the only slot, and this is the slot that we have decided after seeing clashes with other courses, because some of you might be parallelly taking other courses like business analytics and stuff. So after very tough clash, we have finally narrowed it down on this, which doesn't clash with business analytics, BDM,
fine.
other courses.
Yeah, exactly. This is fine. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Dixon and Ravi, maybe you guys want to add some points on what to expect and what to prepare for the exam. I have given my perspective, but just want you guys also to
maybe I'll just reiterate what you had told, Mahesh. So the whole objective of this course is to kind of give you an industry flavor. Let's say when you're interested in taking up a job as a data scientist, the kind of questions which are thrown at you and how to face them in the real world. That's the more like the objective of this entire course. So I mean, expecting let's say a line by line explanation of what the code is doing is not exactly the objective. I mean, let's say if you're given a problem of, let's say, image classification. So there are multiple ways of doing it. Either you can build a neural network from scratch, or you could have directly used, say, Amazon Web Service, AWS service, or the Google Cloud platform, where you have a ready-made application to solve that problem. See, the objective of this course is kind of introduce you to those tools, which will help to solve most of the data science problems in real world. So with that objective, try coming to learn the course. And the exam patterns are also kind of similar to that. It's just like we might give you an Excel sheet asking you a problem to find the average of a particular column. I mean, you can go ahead and use Excel, or you can go ahead using a calculator or Python. It's your wish. It's up to you. The objective is to kind of find a solution for that problem. Not exact. We are not interested in how we are actually arriving at the solution. So, hope
that was a very good summary. Thanks, Ravi. And as I would like to reiterate, that's not our objective in our evaluation as well, right? So we really do not bother how you got the answer, because we know multiple ways you could have got the answer. Your evaluation will be in the projects or whatever you will be. It's all open book, open internet, except the end term. Okay, so end term is not open ended. It will be multiple choice like that. But other things are all open ended, open internet. You do whatever you want. You can browse, learn. We just, if you were able to find the answer, that's all we care about. Right. So, and that is the objective of this course also. How to find the solution is what we will teach. That is the core mantra you need when you are in industry. And that's exactly the philosophy of this course as well. And that is something I want you guys to understand right now itself. Right. So, because it's very important and vital, otherwise your expectations might be a mismatch. Okay. Last call for questions, if there are any. Otherwise, I think we could wrap. We are just crossing time.
So you told about the material you will be providing. So where can we find that material? Because in the supplementary section, I think that is a previous term.
Yeah, it's the same. So we have two types of materials. One is the supplementary Google Drive, which has a collection of all the codes, data used, and we have a folder for every week. It's the same. Of course, the previous run is also same. We have re-uploaded and changed some files, so you can still follow it. And second type of material is additional readings, which you can see in respective weeks when the content gets released, right? So week 1, you might not have had much, but I'm pretty sure from week 2 till the end, you will have so many for every week to read additional. You can see in the course UI itself, you will have a separate tab that says additional readings. Okay, and Raghavendra Reddy, can please share what are the changes made from the first iteration of the course? The changes made are primarily in terms of evaluation components, the questions primarily. It's more applied and more randomized this way. That is one primary change. And in terms of content, we have re-recorded a few videos. Anand himself has re-recorded the week 1 video. If you have taken the previous course week 1, I think you would see it's a totally different video, right? So, and then we have some of the videos re-recorded, and we have additionally added few things in the courses for weeks, right? So previously you might not have seen a couple of topics. We have added those things this time. So yeah, it's and we have also removed few things. So it's a curated list, but it's more of a cosmetic change, but the philosophy of the course is still the same. Right? And Advait, will we be able to taught how to make sense of the data that we have collected, like a conclusion? Definitely yes. So there is a module on storytelling and narratives. So that is, and we have a module on inferencing, which will be week 3 or week 4. Yeah, that will definitely cover that part. And Kumar, you have raised your hand. You have a question?
Yes, sir. I want a few questions regarding this course.
Okay.
So the first question is that what is the maximum amount of the data we are going to play throughout the course? That how much big data? What's the size of the data?
Got it. Okay. Do you have a follow-up next question?
Yeah. And second is there, and what's the purpose of that the entire course? We are going to play the data with only on the hard disk with the Python, or that it is also includes some other technology like that API, or the like that this particular data on the web. That means I can fetch up this data with the web technology, and I can manipulate this data on the web, because at the end, every target of the data is manipulating on the website. So is that the second question? Third question is that since the data increase in the size, or it is on the hard disk, so to reading the data itself, the loading the data from the hard disk to the RAM, it takes so much time. So if I
Right.
talk about the Excel, and the Excel has that 1 GB data, so it will take more than 30 seconds or 1 minute even to load it. So
Right.
what is the best way is that even that some new blog was there. So even they was claiming that even Panda has that very slow rating of the reading the data. There is a many other library came on the C++, which is
Right.
that more faster in reading and the writing. So there is a two thing.
Right.
I will play the data, and for that I have to read the data, and at the end or some unstructured data I'm reading, I will read it, and then I'm going to write it. So the speed of reading and writing when we will play with the big amount of data. So this all 4-5 question was I have to talk.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. I think your 1, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5 questions could be easily clubbed together. I can answer it one shot. So what is the maximum size of data we'll be using? So from what I remember, from what I could recall, we had a project. We have 2 projects, right? In the course, we have 1 project and 2 projects. Both are your evaluation components. So the second project, we had data close to about 300,000, 400,000 rows, which of course is not in terms of GBs. It will be something around 90, 100 MB. So in the course, from a course perspective, the core things that you will deal with are at that range only. But we share a lot of practice assignments, which are totally optional for people who want to explore things. So there we have shared even very huge data sets with size of GB. I remember we have shared sports, football data and fitness data. Football, I think we had a very good response as well. So these are additional practice kind of hackathon kind of things we will post in emails and discourse. This time we have planned it very aggressively than the previous time. So these things will be very huge. Okay, but these are not something you are expected to do. These are optional for people who want to practice more. That is first part. Second part, how to handle computational complexity. Of course, we have to acknowledge that Python is one of the slowest programming languages, right? But it is very user friendly. That's why we use it. So, but C++, as you said, it has build and compile, right? So it's very fast in all that has build and compile. Python doesn't have build and compile. So in terms of that, you need not worry, because today everything is in the cloud. And whatever that you are going to work in this course, we recommend, although it is possible, do not use your personal machine. Everything that we are going to share with you is on the Google Colab platform, right? So Google Colab is a cloud-based Python Jupyter notebook. Some of you might be aware of. So all that is required is you need a Gmail ID, and I think your IIT Madras is a G Suite email ID, and that itself is enough. And you will get 32 GB RAM just basis that. Right, so we recommend we also in our class, in our tutorial videos, we ourselves are going to run it only on Colab, and we will share as Colab only. We also recommend you guys to run it in Colab only, so that the infrastructure issues is sorted out. You do have a very reasonable infrastructure. And the other question, what are the different ways, APIs, and what ways we handle data? We handle everything, right? So we teach you Excel. We have deployment APIs as well in the end. We do have web scraping, right? So we have web scraping. We have videos that guide you how to pull data in real time from, let's say, a BBC weather website, or from a Google Maps API, right? So we have such kind of topics as well. There are tools that help you pull data from live websites and APIs, and we do cover that. Yes, right? I hope I answered all the questions.
Yes, sir. I have the solution you gave that. I have a top of that one more question on that.
Okay.
So you told that the cloud on the Colab we are going to do.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's fine to practice. But what if I want my own way?
Yeah, if you wanted your own way, I think there are two ways, right? So one way is infrastructure-wise being efficient. The other way is program-wise being efficient. right? So if you want to use your local machine only, but still make your code as fast as possible, then the best is to use some libraries or data structures that will make you efficient. So definitely, if you expect we are going to teach you how to do that in a C++, no, but definitely we are going to teach you some cool libraries like pandas profiling or some sklearn based libraries which are written in C++. So if you just use it in Python, it will be faster. So from that perspective, yes, we will cover. But if that is the maximum you could do, because infrastructure is the 60% of your speed. So other 40% you can play with is only using these libraries and other things. Unless we address that 60% infrastructure, the speed could not be improved. But we will do refer you to some C++ based libraries like pandas profiling and sklearn, which are relatively faster than its peer libraries. Those things we will introduce.
Okay. One more question, sir, here. Suppose you are telling that we will use the cloud in the collab. So ultimately, we are getting some data. So on the cloud, the data is in which format? Like that, we generally know that it will be either on the NoSQL or MySQL type of.
Okay, got it. So you need not worry about it. We have configured all of it as open source CSV links. Right? Everything is a CSV data only. You need not worry about that. We will directly provide you we have hosted it in the cloud, and we will give you an URL. You have to just do read of that URL path. It will be everything is a CSV data only. 70% of it, 30% of it is API data.
Then I'm facing. I got one more problem on top of that. So to read the CSV data, we have to load the first data at all, because there is no alternate method.
No. You need not load. As I said, you need not even add it to your drive in G Drive. Not even required. We hosted it in a public URL. Anyone?
Yeah, I got it, sir. My question is the different. Even that we are reading on the collab, so access that even on the RAM, we have to load the data hypothetically on the RAM, then we will access. It is not like that SQL and the NoSQL means.
The RAM we are talking about is Google Cloud RAM and not your system RAM.
I got it. So Google Cloud will handle everything. So
So Google Cloud will have 32 GB RAM. It's free for you, just for your IIT Gmail. So everything is going to happen in that 32 GB, and nothing will come to your system. Just the internet is required. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Cool. And Harshjeet, sir, could you please suggest what should be the first step if we collect the data, and what methods, tools we have to use on that data? I think you are asking week 2's content. Yeah, I recommend you go and watch week 2 content. These 2 questions will be answered. Okay. Any questions? Last check. Anyone? Great. Thanks for being very interactive, and thanks to my fellow instructors as well. We look forward for a great course, great run. We'll catch you guys next week. Okay. From our side, we will send out a broadcast email for DBF viewer. Thank you, and have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir.
And all the best for the course, guys.
Thank you, sir.